Hey everybody, I'm back like I promised. I promised you all I was going to come back. We have several more to do today, but my lovely guest for this Author Talk short is Scottlin. So I am excited. You showed me your book and it's a hardcover and it has beautiful illustrations in it. So I would love to know, and our readers and listeners and watchers would love to know, what genre do you write in and when did you start writing?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you. So I'll tell you, I write in a personal empowerment genre, and I can show you more of the book later. And I started writing very young. I actually was writing before I could write, which was at probably about 6, because I started. I liked to cook too, and I wanted to write recipes. So I started hand drawing out the recipes. It was like a carrot and then a carrot chopped up for soup.
Nice. I love it.
And then by 10, I think I wrote my first play, and it just kind of went from there.
I love it. See, I've been hearing a lot of it was just born, they were born to write. They didn't even realize they were going to be a writer. They dabbled in all these other things and they're like, oh, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to write. And then here, they are this massive success in writing, right? Which I think is
Yeah.
amazing. So tell us a little bit about what Live for Joy is about.
Okay, so Live for Joy is a personal empowerment book. You can see it behind me. What I wanted to do was write a personal empowerment book that you could benefit from if you only had 1 or 2 minutes in the day or
I
the
love
week
it.
or the hour. So being a busy person or a busy mom or a busy writer, whoever you are, sometimes you're like, I need to have my mental fix. I need my philosophy. I need something to like gear me up for the day, but I don't have time to read a whole chapter. Maybe don't even have time to listen to a whole audiobook. So this is very short, sweet. It's not just about joy, but it's how to live for joy. And it's 12 chapters. It's a nice big book. It is, I think we're at like 280 pages, which is beautiful. Yeah, really beautiful. And it talks about everyday things. So when I was a kid, I used to and I went to church. Someone gave me a gift when I was, I think, graduated from high school, which was like a topical book where you would go down the list of things you needed like help with, encouragement, like depression or a breakup, or and then you would go there and you would find like what they had was like a scripture verse. Well, in this case, this is not a religious book per se, but it's by topics. So it's like waking up your potential as a professional, as a person. How do you dive into that? How do you set your navigation and stay on course? One of my favorite chapters is be a benevolent world citizen, because I really think that if you really want to have joy in your life, we have to start by also sharing that with others and really being complete with them, not just self-serving, right? Nature is a big part of it, as you might have guessed from the cover, because it's beautiful. How does that connect you? You can call it spiritually, you can call it emotionally, grounding, whatever you want to call it, but how does that connect you and what can you do? And they're really short quotes, and every quote has an illustration. Sometimes it'll be a photograph, but this is a photograph of a picture frame with a natural photo in it.
I love it.
It's just fun. It's thematic. Sometimes we have original digital art, and I literally have spent like hundreds of hours picking these for every single thing to partner with the quote itself. Like, how does it benefit you? So even some funny ones, right? So here's an elephant sitting on a log with a golden retriever sitting next to it.
I love it.
And it says, when feeling isolated, you can blame the world, or you can invite others to grab a seat and make some friends. And this is under encouraging yourself. There's a whole chapter about, if you're feeling blue, if you're feeling down, here's another one that I love. It's got this great owl, which just somehow makes me happy and laugh at the same time.
Oh, I love it. I feel like that's how I look in the morning until I get coffee. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're just being honest. That's the honest truth, okay? Until we get our coffee, I look that way.
Yeah. It's so true. And I love what it says. It says, you're enough. One bird does not compare itself to another. It does what it was built to do. Just be itself. Some of them are deep philosophies. Some of them are quippy, but they're all original. This is not a compilation. This is 100% original. The book came from my Twitter feed of over 110K followers that I was writing brand new, unique content for several years. And people started saying, why don't you're already a emotional wellness specialist. Why don't you put out a book with a lot of this in it? Because we would like to have it. So that's how the book was born. And lastly, the last chapter, which is one of my favorites, which is learn to love the endings. Because a lot of times we think that endings are bad, like the end of perfect health or the end of a relationship or the end of, a job, or, why does it always have to be negative? Why can't we find the beautiful beginnings, the positives? I love this one. It's the last one I'll share, but I love the picture so much. It's this happy old couple with their
I
coffee
love it.
sitting outside, absolutely adorable. And it says, gratitude and joy are ageless, even as time goes by.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like, it's one of those things, people always get really sad when, I'm a firm believer that you have seasons or chapters in life, right?
Right?
And, they always how do you finish a chapter? You start another one unless it's the end of the book, right? But it's one of those things where I'm a firm believer in that, and they don't have to be sad. I think that they can be exciting because you never know, where life's going to take you. I mean, my husband every 3 years did something new, okay? I mean, I can't tell you, okay? We got dated and got married in 3 years. We moved after we got married, we moved a month later to a new city. 3 years later, we were moving to another city, bought a house, and had our first daughter, right? We're coming up
Wow.
on our 3rd year, and I bought my car, and we've had 2 kids now, and, he's getting his PE and everything. So every 3
Wow.
years, 3 is like my number,
That's
but it's
awesome.
like a new chapter in life, a new adventure, you
Yes.
know? But I also love that you include nature because I also think that nature is, like, the best form of therapy,
Oh my goodness.
and it's free, you don't have to pay for it, so it's even better,
It's
you
even better.
know?
Even if you're in the city, there's a park, there's trees, there's flowers. You can find your piece of nature, and it is
Right.
so beautiful and just so grounding, shifts your energy.
Yeah, which I love. If I ever get, like, super stressed out, I need, like, a body of water or something around, which I love, and I love that your book is all about, positive. I always and Mickey sometimes, tells me, he's like, "Oh, Amy, you can yell at me later, all this stuff." I am just, happy puppies and rainbows all the time. I love it, everything's positive, all those things, and so I love that, and I love that the book is, to me, seems to really emphasize on all of the positive things, because you can spin anything in a negative direction.
Yes. Well, you can. And I think what's kind of unique about this book is it's definitely a positive. It's definitely how can you live a life of joy by with balancing all these things, but it also is realistic, because it talks about like, a winter in one's life, when, it's just picture of ice crystals and snow, or, when you're breaking through troubles and there's, the iris poking up through the snow. So it's
Yeah.
also like meet you where you're at, because if
Mhm.
you're way down here, we're still meeting you where you're at, and then we're doing this. It's not like we're all up here like life is perfect, we're looking down on everyone. No, it's like let's meet you where you're at, let's have a reality check. Now,
Yeah.
how can we lift this up so that you can see the positive benefit, or where you could go with it, or what you could learn from it? And so then I feel like we can redeem almost any situation in your life. I mean, I've lived in chronic pain. I've been divorced and remarried. I've moved across the country multiple times. You can't even. There's so many things
Mhm.
that happen, but those things that ended also were these beautiful beginnings. Taught me amazing lessons.
Yeah.
So we made lots of great stories.
Right, I love it. You've made so many, like, memories, but you've been on so many adventures, and life has taken you down so many
Mhm.
avenues, right? And so
I
I
love
love that, and I love that, the book is, in a sense, it's a very empowering book, like you mentioned, but it's
mhm.
just, to me, filled with so many positivity because you can swing anything to be negative, and then you go down a dark rabbit hole, and you're just like, "Oh my gosh, I can't get out of my pit of despair," right? And it's like,
No, no,
"No,
it's
you
so
can.
true.
We're gonna build a rainbow ladder, and we're gonna get out, okay? There's light, okay? There's always."
There's light in fact, I have one there that shows light at the end of a tunnel. Um,
I love
it's
it.
perfect, or the seagull in the storm. But in partly because of the content, as well as what a beautiful hands-on like book it is. It's such a great gift for anyone. I mean, we had a promotion on Mother's Day and people just loved it. But it's not just for women. I mean, I would say my readers are 50-50. Because there's a lot of philosophy, a lot of inspiration, a lot of motivation, whether you're a business person or it doesn't matter what your walk of life is, there's something in there for everyone. And it's just kind of a beautiful thing to like have on your desk or your bedside table. I know some people who wake up and like pick one for the day and read
Right?
it. So it's kind of got a lot of uses.
Oh yeah, it can definitely set your tone for the day, but I mean, I'm a huge believer in like having a positive mindset and starting your day off that way really impacts anything that you do, the business that you do or the people that you interact with. It shifts all that and then it can feed because one, you never know what someone's going through, right? But you never know what challenges or adventures wait in business, right? Or whatever you're doing, right? I'm sure someone's going to try to push your buttons one day. And so I love that. And I love that it's just also so beautiful to look at. Like you want to just look at it. And I love that. I think that is so brilliant and smart and just positive. Like your cover is just like I wish I was there. I wish I was there. And I do.
I'm a kid at heart. I'm a creative, in one of my other lives, I've been an actress, I've done a lot of different things. And so I'm just a very kinesthetic, hands-on person. Like, I love ideas too, but I like to see and touch and feel. And I really wanted to create an experience. So it's a little bit more than, a book. It goes just an extra mile to kind of give you that full experience. And even the images and the quote, which are, painstakingly paired, but sometimes you may get something from the image that you didn't even get from the quote or vice versa. Like you might get two completely different things. So you kind of like, it's kind of coming at you from all over and you take away what you just needed that day. And it's kind of beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it's also one of those that is making an impact in people, and I'm sure shifting their mindset and their energy,
Yeah.
right? Which is
Yeah.
always such a beautiful thing. But you have decided to join me and my crazy self is how I've just decided to label myself. But I can embrace the crazy. Okay, come join us over here. We have a lot of fun. But
Yay.
you're going to be on the 12 Days of Page Turners on December 6th at 7 p.m. And I know then we're going to talk a lot about what holiday promotion that you're offering with your book and everything. But can you give us a little bit of a hint or an insight into what we can expect on December 6th from you?
Yes, and that's 7 p.m. and that's central, right? Just double
Yes.
checking. Okay, cool. So, so obviously, yes, I'm going to share more about the book specifically. Share a few of my favorite quotes, favorite images, and just some of the fun and useful things people have found it helping them in their everyday life. And then I also will have a gift for your people.
I love it.
And that's going to be, we'll tell you more on the day, but basically a free guided journal. And when I say guided, I mean for those who don't like to journal, even, you can do this. It's very short and simple. It's also illustrated. It's beautiful. I will tell you more on the day. And it's great if you have this book. And even if you don't, it's a great companion standalone, like bringing more joy into your life.
Oh, see, I love that. I am a firm believer that happiness just is spread and is contagious. And if that means that I am the puppies and rainbows, I'm going to do it. Life is just easy peasy when I'm just like, oh, well, you didn't mean it that way. We're going to just go this way. you
But
know,
here's what I can be grateful for.
yeah, it's definitely not you and your tone right now, but this avenue is, we're going to focus over here. This is happier.
I'm
I
hearing my mother voice in there just a little bit.
Exactly. But I cannot wait to dive deeper into your book on December 6th and to share the goodies that you have for everyone that's going to attend during those 12 days. So you guys don't remember that the 12 Days of Page Turners kicks off December 1st, and Scotland's going to be joining us on December 6th at 7 p.m. Central. That's a night you're not going to want to miss, and see what holiday promotion that she has. But remember, the best gift that you can give anyone this holiday season is a new book and to take them out of reality or to inspire and encourage others. That is a philosophy here. Author Talk also does. Abundantly Social and me, we preach all the time. But until next time, you guys, Anne, thank you so much for taking time out and for joining us for the 12 days. We're so excited. But we'll catch you guys all later on this evening. Bye, everybody.